Smith Lake is shifting right now, and depending on how you play the next 60 to 90 days, you're either going to look like a genius or you're going to be saying all summer, man, we should have bought that one.
Hey, I'm Jacob Sanders, your local Smith Lake Realtor. And look, if you've thought about buying or selling here on the lake, don't do anything without calling me first. I want to be your go-to for all things Smith Lake real estate and your complete 100% resource for Smith Lake.
What's up, guys? Jacob Sanders at eXp Realty here on Smith Lake. And we're in spring of 2026 right now, and it's that time of year where the market starts waking up. Buyers come out of hibernation, sellers start thinking about putting their house on the market, and everybody says, hey, I want a lake house. It's like clockwork. I hear it every year.
So let's start with what's happened so far this year. So from January 1st up till about mid-April, 48 homes have sold on Smith Lake. The average sold price is about $707,000, and the median sold price is around $662,500. Now, if we compare that to list prices, the average list price was right around $762,000. So right now, homes are selling at about 92 to 93% of their asking price. So no, this is not the name your price and it still sells tomorrow market. You still have to be realistic. Otherwise, your house becomes a very expensive online decoration, and no seller wants that. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Now, let's compare that to the same time last year in 2025. So in 2025, 54 homes sold, slightly more than this year, but the average sale price was about $936,000. This year is right at about $707,000. That is a huge noticeable shift. So what that tells us is the market is still active, the price sensitivity is higher, and buyers are being a lot more selective. This doesn't mean that Smith Lake is down or weak. What it really means is the higher end stuff is moving differently than it was last year. Buyers are paying more attention to value, and pricing strategy really matters more than it did last year. So basically, last year people were like, hey, we love it, let's do it. This year people was like, hey, we love it, but let's talk about that price for a second. Let's talk about time on the market and the inventory. This year, the average days on the market is right around 140 days. Last year, it was around 131 days, so homes are sitting slightly longer. As far as the inventory goes, in 2026 so far, there's been 168 new listings, right around 216 current active homes here on the lake. Last year, there's 175 new listings, and they were all pretty similar, but a much stronger pending activity early on, about 63 pending versus 35 this year. What does that mean? That tells us something really important. Buyers this year are moving a little bit slower, they're more cautious, and they're comparing more options before really pulling the trigger. Look, they're not swiping right on houses anymore. They're reading the entire profile first. Now, when we talk about expired listings or failed listings, as some might say, this is one of the most important parts of the entire market. So in 2026, there's already been 70 expired listings, 27 canceled, and 44 back on the market. That's a lot of homes that didn't sell. But here's the truth. It's almost never because the lake isn't desirable. It's usually because the price was off, or the presentation was off, or the expectations were really just not realistic. So some of these listings hit the market and they were like, hey, we're going to try this number and see what happens. But the market said, hey, we saw it and we're going to pass. What does this mean for buyers? Well, look, if you're a buyer right now, this is actually a really solid window, and really because there's inventory, there's some negotiating room, and really you're ahead of your peak season competition. But the good properties, the ones that check the right boxes, they still move fast. So you can't be slow on the right deal, because we are getting multiple offers on some homes as we speak. For sellers, now what does this mean for you? Well, look, if you're a seller, here's an opportunity right now. You can still get ahead of the summer rush, stand out with less competition, and attract the serious buyers early. But let me warn you, pricing matters more now this year than it did last year in 2025. You can't just test the market at a crazy number and really expect it to work, because if you miss the first wave of attention, it gets a lot harder to recover. So that first 2 weeks on the market, that's going to be your moment. After that, you're explaining to people why it's still available. So here's the bottom line. 2026 is still a strong Smith Lake market, but it's a lot more balanced this year than it was last year in 2025. Buyers are more selective, and the strategy to get the home sold is going to matter more than ever.
So if you're thinking about buying or selling on Smith Lake this year, let's talk. I'll break down your situation and help build out a strategy to help you either buy or sell and win the right way. Hey, I'm Jacob Sanders with eXp Realty here on Smith Lake. My number is 205-369-2803. You can also visit my website at jacobsandershomes.com, where you'll find all the available listings on Smith Lake. And look, if you've got questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll respond to every one of them. Have a good one.